Welcome and good day. We are Team 9 and we're about to present on entrepreneurial marketing of international high-tech business to business new ventures, a decision-making process perspective. We thank Salman for the opportunity to prepare and present on this particular paper. My name is Sean and let's proceed. Entrepreneurial marketing involves market creation by the entrepreneur, since a business is quite often built on the idea of the entrepreneur. They bear the risk. They're the ones who are in charge of running the business. So they're the ones who decide what course of action the organization or the business would take. And secondly, value co-creation with the help of partnerships with other firms. No firm is an island, no organization ever is and can be, especially when it comes to firms that are involved in entrepreneurial marketing, and especially in the B2B and international kind. They deal with a high-risk environment. So they have to form really close partnerships, both with suppliers as well as customers, consumers, influencers, and now, of course, since that has to do at the international level, quite often they're governments. It has to involve a proactive approach, looking out for problems before they show up, looking out for solutions before anybody else might develop them to maintain a competitive edge. Risk management is really key because quite often these firms, being relatively new compared to established organizations, and they range from small to medium size and depend quite often solely on the genius and the diligence of the entrepreneur. Managing that risk based on their gut feeling or their business plans would definitely be key there. And customer intensity, being in an extremely competitive environment, although one might be a solo, close to sole operator in their segment. Quite often, since they're dealing with an international environment, and they might have to compete with organizations from all over the world. Uh, so it's really important that no matter where they are in the world, they're able to constantly engage with their customers and especially key customers. Let's talk about the decision-making theory and the preliminary research framework. So what is this research really based on? The main factor that has been highlighted throughout is the level of uncertainty that these businesses face, being in an international market. What is the basis of taking action? What is the basis of launching a particular product or providing a certain solution, for example? The view of risk and resources. Can one afford to take a certain level of risk, and what are the resources available to take advantage of opportunities? The attitude towards outsiders, are they possible competitors? Are they possible partners? The attitude towards unexpected events like the COVID-19 pandemic that we are currently facing. Is a major roadblock that one cannot get past, or is it a source of new opportunities? And the view of the future. One definitely, once being in a tech sector, has to be prepared for the unexpected and be ready to take advantage of those opportunities, because it's an environment that constantly keeps on evolving. And the entrepreneurial market process is definitely affected by all of the former that we've just spoken about. And these businesses that are involved, especially in the tech sector, they have to be innovative, constantly inventing new technologies, new solutions to new problems, and that means constantly acquiring new skills, new competencies, and constantly leveraging the resources that they have and maximize the potential of the skills that they have, the resources that they have. Now, as we talk about their case that we have relevant to this paper, there are four companies that were selected. So there's Wacom, VTech, The Switch, and Arctech. As we read the paper, we realized that there were a few similarities amongst these companies that were selected as part of this case. All of these are Finnish companies to begin with, of course, but the main things to be considered were that these companies were serving similar clientele. These all these companies have to do with electromechanical and marine engineering-based solutions, catering mainly to the energy sector. So oil and gas, renewable energy, power systems. So that is the realm in what they operate. And they're all dissimilar in size, but mostly similar degrees of internationalization in their business. Um, and in fact, majority of their businesses, for the most part, are dependent on international clientele. Then all of them provide technology-based solution selling. So some of them, I'd say, out of the four, three of them have manufacturing of some kind, but the main thing that they're into are high technology-based solution selling. Their product, what they're offering to their clientele would differ case to case. And the fourth being majorly dependent on international sales, as we spoke of. So let's talk about the case background. So the first firm that we're looking at is WeTech, founded in 2008, privately owned, having 8 employees, so apparently a relatively small business. Into frequency converter shaft generator solutions, mainly catering to the maritime industry, not really into production, and with the foreign sales representatives in China. And you can see the degree of internationalization really hasn't changed all that much, although they have been a fast-growing company ever since their inception. Then the second one is Arctech, founded in the same year, a private company with a similar size, so 15 employees, selling electrical protection delays, catering mostly to the electrical utility and maritime mining and other commercial and institutional users. They have their own assembly workshop and outsourced production in Finland. So they are into manufacturing, but not maybe in that large of a scale, because they probably are into more custom solutions, just like WeTech was, but they do have some in-house production of some form. Then we have foreign sales representatives in 40 countries worldwide, and with their degree of internationalization staying stable but relatively high even since their inception. And then we have the Switch, founded in 2006, not as much longer ago, but private as a company, but with 210 employees. So relatively a medium-sized company, and generator and converter packages is what they're into. Wind, solar, maritime, and other renewable energy applications. So they're mainly into that industry, and they have production facilities in Finland, China, and the United States, and sales offices being in Denmark, Germany, Italy, China, and the United States. With their degree of internationalization, which has relatively declined, but still stable, and but still high. Uh, and the largest and the oldest of these companies is Wacom. In the paper, we have read that this company was formed as a result of the merger of three different firms, and it is publicly listed, so it is as good as an MNC, uh, uh, although relatively small, but still pretty sizable, with a diverse set of industries that they do cater to, and the production facilities being in Finland, Italy, China, India, and the United States. The sales offices are in 30 countries worldwide. The degree of internationalization was still relatively low, pretty much the lowest amongst all these initially at 51%, but did grow rapidly and now at 94%, which is pretty significant, given for that size of a company uh, and operating outside of its home market. So the data collection and analysis was done in the form of surveys that is questionnaire based and personal interviews with different representatives of these organizations. And it was qualitative data, both primary and secondary. Now, the trustworthiness of this research paper, I'd say for that kind of research paper where there's mostly uh, qualitative analysis based research, it's really hard to tell because there's a lot of subjectivity and biases that can be introduced, and I personally do not really agree with the methodology of considering and comparing different firms of different sizes and really catering to similar clientele but from different industries. I believe it should be uh, uh, a better way to do that. And my way, the way I see it, would be to compare companies in a single market, operating in the same industry and catering to similar clients. So that is the way I see it.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Aman Shah and I'm going to discuss the decision making process in marketing. So, decision making process involves identifying a goal, getting the relevant and necessary information, and weighing the alternatives in order to make a decision. Using a step by step decision making process can help you make more deliberate, thoughtful decision by organizing relevant information and defining alternatives. This approach increases the chances that you will choose most satisfying alternative possible. So, as you can see, there are 7 steps in any decision making process. First one begins with identifying the decision, then gathering the information, identifying alternatives, weighing the evidence, choose among the alternatives, taking appropriate action, and then review our decision. So in business, there are two decision-making logics, effectual and causal. In effectual, the individual will begin with a given set of means, focus on affordable loss, emphasize strategic alliances, exploit contingencies, and seek to control an unpredictable future. When an individual uses causal logic, he or she will begin with a given goal, focus on expected returns, emphasize competitive analysis, exploit pre-existing knowledge, and try to predict an uncertain future. But in practice, it has been also found that entrepreneurs use a combination of both effectual causal decision making. In other words, in causal decision making, the focus is on achieving a desired goal through a specific set of given means. Causation invokes search and select tactics and underlies most good management theories. Causal thinkers believe that if I can predict the future, I can control it. And in effectuation, the focus is on using a set of evolving means to achieve new and different goals. Effectuation evokes creative and transformative tactics. Effectual logic is the name given to heuristics by expert entrepreneurs in new venture creation. Effectual thinkers believe that if I can control the future, I do not need to predict it. So now I'm going to discuss the antecedents in decision-making process. Antecedents generally mean a thing or event which existed before. So the things which exist before decision-making process will be uncertainty and ambidexterity. So uncertainty is a state of being uncertain, which comes before any important decision made by us. In business, uncertainty is a key contextual factor that affects the decision making process of multinational corporations on many types of international operation. Uncertainty arises due to missing, unreliable, or maybe confusing information. So now ambidexterity. Ambidexterity is the ability to apply multiple approaches to strategy either concurrently or successively since many firms operate in more than one strategic environment at once. Ambidexterity refers to capability to employ both exploration and exploitation methods. It is what allows entrepreneurs to simultaneously use the effectual process to explore and create a new market and the causal process to exploit the existing market. So, how the entrepreneurs work on applying approaches toward strategy in decision making process greatly affects the outcomes.
Let's talk about the dynamic model of marketing decision-making process. Based on the empirical results, we have developed a dynamic model of the decision-making process adopted in high-tech business-to-business INVs to achieve entrepreneurial marketing. This model consists of several main elements: uncertainty, the ambidexterity of entrepreneurs, effectual and casual decision-making processes, and entrepreneurial marketing by INVs. The dynamism of the model relates to alternating use of effectual and casual processes prompted by variations in uncertainty, the ambidexterity of entrepreneurs, and the feedback loop that reflects the effect on uncertainty of entrepreneurial marketing undertaken by INV. The initial output into the model is the level of uncertainty faced by the firms. It highlights the logic of an effectual approach to the marketing under uncertainty. It is not clear what types of uncertainty are particularly relevant for which types of firm. Our results have clarified the uncertainty faced by high-tech business-to-business INVs, whose accelerated internationalization brings with it the liabilities of foreignness, newness, and smallness, which increase internal or technological uncertainty in a turbulent marketing environment. Our results indicate that when an international high-tech business-to-business new venture faced greater internal uncertainty, the entrepreneurs resorted to a marketing decision-making process that was more effectual than casual. The case studies also explain why the processes are more effectual during the early growth phases of an INV and more casual during later phases. During the growth of an INV, internal uncertainty is stronger at the beginning but weakens later. The technological uncertainty is a relatively strong factor for high-tech industrial INVs pursuing radical innovation. The product offerings are based on new technology and involve redefining existing markets and creating new markets. The existing market data are often not helpful in developing a specific marketing plan, meaning marketing decision making requires a novel approach that embraces an unpredictable market. An effectual process highlights creative thinking about a new technology and the creation of market opportunities for its specific product applications. Furthermore, our results imply that market turbulence is another form of uncertainty, political and economic crisis. For example, it can cause turbulence in international markets. High-tech technology markets have been described as particularly turbulent owing to the rapid environmental changes affecting them. Proposition 1. When an internal uncertainty, technological uncertainty, and market turbulence are higher in high-tech business-to-business INVs, the entrepreneur's marketing decision-making is more effectual than casual. Another finding is that entrepreneurs in the study employed both effectual and casual processes when making marketing decisions. We extend the preliminary research framework based on mapping both the effectual and causal processes in our empirical results. The effectual process in an INV starts with the entrepreneurs concerned utilizing their existing resources in the form of their knowledge, experience, and networks. The resources available determine the choice of marketing strategy, which should not risk more resources than the firm can afford to lose. The decision making process then moves on to identifying potential partners and obtaining the commitment of one or more of those partners. Once a partnership is established, both sides contribute to the co creation of marketing. The process continues by leveraging contingencies, and ideally, the partnership will be strong enough for the parties to maintain a positive attitude towards unexpected events. Finally, entrepreneurs transform the contingency into new market opportunities. In addition, the model presents a cycle operating between the marketing resources and leveraging contingency of INV entrepreneurs. New market opportunities may reveal more partnering opportunities for marketing co creation. The level of uncertainty in the marketing mix of INV varies, which might cause an INV entrepreneur to engage in a casual decision making for product decisions during periods of low technological uncertainty, but effectual decision making for decisions on promotion and distribution during periods of great internal uncertainty and market turbulence. The uncertainty level also changes over time. For instance, internal uncertainty may change from strong to weak in the course of firm's development. Proposition 2A and B. The greater the variance in uncertainty, the more the entrepreneurs in high-tech business to business INVs alternate between effectual and casual decision making processes when making marketing decisions. Ambidexterity of entrepreneurs is the second factor leading to the changes in the decision making approaches. Asserts ambidexterity indicates that organizations should be able to switch to opposing operational modes to promote innovation. Organizational ambidexterity therefore includes the ability to simultaneously explore and exploit opportunity. However, ambidextrous behavior on the part of individual managers has also been studied. In our study, ambidexterity refers to an entrepreneur's ability to use exploration and exploitation with equal ease. Our results indicate that ambidexterity allows entrepreneurs to explore new market opportunities based on effectual decision making while also exploiting existing market opportunities with casual decision making. This enables them to switch between effectual and casual processes depending on which is likely to yield the best outcome. Entrepreneurs report to an effectual process while creating new markets and to a casual process when developing it accordingly. We propose proposition B. The greater the ambidexterity of entrepreneurs in high-tech business to business INVs, the more likely they are to alternate between effectual and casual decision-making processes when making the marketing decisions. Our results show that the effectuation route is not only one available to deliver entrepreneurial marketing in high-tech business to business INVs, however, it can support all the dimensions of entrepreneurial marketing in INVs, whereas the casuation option can only support limited entrepreneurial marketing dimensions. Market creation, proactiveness, innovativeness, and value co-creation are only evident when an effectual process is employed. There are a number of reasons for this. First, effectual decision making is an iterative and incremental process which includes a recycling circle. Marketing and strategic management literature has also suggested decision making is an incremental and adaptive process. However, the process always begins with goal setting. In contrast, the iterative and incremental process of effectuation begins with the resources rather available than with the goals. By leveraging contingencies and creating new market opportunities, entrepreneurs can form more partnerships to instigate co created marketing that can, in turn, provide better market options. The circulation allows them to continually accumulate greater knowledge, experience, and better networks. Casuation begins from a discovered market and proceeds in a single direction, which hinders new opportunity creation. As effectuation leads to market creation, a firm can drive the market with innovative and proactive offerings because the casuation approach encourages entrepreneurs to predict forthcoming events in the market. Discovered, entrepreneurs then can make reactive decisions that are driven by the market. However, our results show that at the beginning of a casual process, entrepreneurs only exploit their knowledge and experience without using networks for co-creation. We do argue that effectual marketing decision making may prompt a greater degree of entrepreneurial marketing by high-tech business to business INVs. Proposition 3. Due to the iterative, incremental, and co-creative nature of the decision making process, when entrepreneurs in high-tech business to business INVs making marketing decisions make greater use of the effectual approach than the casual approach, more entrepreneurial marketing results are achieved. Even though the market changes are caused by technological, political, and institutional environments, make international high-tech markets very predictable, effectual decision making uses a transformative approach to control an unpredictable future, tackling uncertain marketing elements and co-creating new markets with committed shareholders. We have already discussed how both the effectual and casual processes can trigger entrepreneurial marketing, but a more intensive form of entrepreneurial marketing flows from the effectual approach. Our results show that when high-tech business-to-business INVs attain high level of entrepreneurial marketing, they create new market with innovative offerings that shape the external environment. As a result, in the face of either internal or external uncertainty, the entrepreneurs maintained a positive attitude and were confident they could co-create a future market with partners and thereby reduce their perceived uncertainty. However, the lesser form of entrepreneurial marketing stemming from casual decision making does not have such an effect as it does not involve creating a new market. Proposition 4. A higher proportion of entrepreneurial marketing being guided by effectual rather than casual decision making leads to a pronounced reduction of the uncertainty perceived by entrepreneurs in high tech business to business INVs. Discussions. The dynamic model developed in this study is suited to resolving the issues raised in previous marketing decision making literature, which is largely based on the assumptions of planning and goal setting. This model offers a better understanding of how marketing decisions are made in high-tech business-to-business INVs to deliver the entrepreneurial marketing. The majority of past studies have reported a casual planning approach, especially in large firms and the high-tech sectors. This model shows that both effectual and casual marketing processes can trigger entrepreneurial marketing. However, we found that in high-tech business-to-business INVs, more entrepreneurial marketing is achieved through entrepreneurs using effectuation. Marketing decisions follow the adoption of casuation approach can prompt only a limited degree of entrepreneurial marketing that lacks the market creation, innovativeness, proactiveness, and value co-creation elements. Furthermore, we explained why the effectual process leads to a greater degree of entrepreneurial marketing. Moreover, in the very first stages of an effectual process, networks are leveraged for co-creation. This paper also contributes to industrial marketing research. The entrepreneurial marketing dimensions applicable to rapidly internationalizing firms in the international high-tech business-to-business markets. These dimensions include market creation, value co-creation, proactiveness, innovativeness, risk management, resource leveraging, and customer intensity. The paper also suggested that entrepreneurial marketing is a multidimensional construct. Although not all of the dimensions are prerequisites for its existence, it is a matter of degree. There are different combinations of dimensions depending on the marketing decision making process applied. Secondly, this paper identified industrial marketing factors that influence the marketing decision making processes. Those factors are the internal uncertainty with the firm, technological uncertainty, and market turbulence. It also contributes to international entrepreneurship. INVs are early and rapidly internationalizing firms that operate under conditions of uncertainty and therefore offer an excellent context in which to investigate market decision making in turbulent high tech markets. Moreover, it explained the ways in which entrepreneurs alternate between effectuation and causation approaches and identified the factors causing them to do so. The extent to which an INV entrepreneur alternate between the two approaches depends on various variations in international uncertainty, technological uncertainty, market turbulence, as well as the ambidextrosity of entrepreneurs. This new knowledge advances our understanding of how effectual and casual processes can be combined in marketing undertaken by the INVs.